Sad, the lead single of XXXTentacion's second and final studio album debuted at number 7 on the US Billboard 100 following its initial release on March 2, 2018, making it the up-and-coming rapper's first single to reach the US top 10. However, Sad found a second and far stronger wave of fame and notoriety posthumous to X's death in June 2018, spreading his track's underlying lyrical message to millions. During the first 24 hours after the tragic news of X's murder hit the headlines, Sad amassed 10.4 million streams on Spotify alone, raising XXXTentacion to levels of stardom unfortunately never realized in life, whilst earning his track the legendary title of being the most streamed song in a single day. The song centers around an array of references to depression and suicide in the wake of life-shattering heartbreak. Stripping itself of rap's stereotypical gimmicks, the lyrics grapple with a myriad of universal human emotions often left undiscussed. Songwriting choices which continue to bring unfounded levels of adulation and notoriety to X's musical legacy. On its surface, many of X's lyrics, such as, "It's torture being in love, I love when you're around, but I fucking hate when you leave. Who am I? Someone that's afraid to let go," resonate with the global experience of feeling trapped within a doomed relationship that you can't bear to step away from. Sad captures the unspoken misery of being entangled in a love-hate relationship with love itself, tapping into the strange sensation of damned if I do, damned if I don't. X's lyrics defiantly highlight the Stockholm Syndrome which emerges as a long-term relationship fails, the will to remain complacent in misery rather than take the impossible steps of breaking up. A clear theme of depression also underlies X's lyrics. One evocative example includes the line, "I won't fix, I'd rather weep," a stunning reflection of the depressive lack of energy, alongside the inability to move forwards after loss, whether from a breakup or after a literal death. Despite the emotional rainstorms clouding his lyrics, "I gave her everything. She took my heart and left me lonely." XXXTentacion pulls the grieving and lovelorn together in a communal experience of loss, cementing his underlying message that his audience is never alone in their sadness. X's overt chorus, "Suicide if you ever try to let go," reference to suicide carries a deeper sentiment than its literal meaning, which could be seen as a suicide threat to a partner on the verge of leaving or an ex you'll never see again. X casts suicide in a metaphorical light, his infamous line referring to the symbolic death of the self after losing your other half. In this sense, Sad draws seismic attention towards the inability to persist without the one you love, despite the chasmic ruins they left in their wake, both during the relationship and after. XXXTentacion lyrical references to suicide and depression are rooted in his own personal experiences, two of which stand out in particular, the death of his uncle in childhood and of his friend Jocelyn Flores. Depressive themes are threaded throughout X's discography, one of the most prominent instances being his 2017 track, Jocelyn Flores, which immortalized his friend following the news of her suicide. However, on the death of his uncle, one of X's most notable remarks comes from a tweet he posted in December 2014, where he wrote, "I remember my uncle's cold, lifeless body hanging from his balcony. It was a sight to see." These two significant suicides during X's youth incurred trauma and depression, which could take anyone a lifetime to work through. And being only 20 years old at the time of his murder, doubtlessly lent harrowing, vivid, real-world influence to X's lyrical themes. Jocelyn Flores ties the memories of both suicides together through the lines. Memories surface through the grapevine, about my uncle playing with a slipknot, post-traumatic stress got me fucked up, revealing the deep-rooted emotional pain which in part laid the foundations of X's emotional struggles. This entanglement with suicide resurfaces many times throughout X's life and work, first in the Jocelyn track, and later in the 2018 release, Sad, which marks an attempt to fight against and flee from inner despair.
Pain is everything. You know what I'm saying? If you choose to suffer through the pain, you strong.
Praised as a track which tackles depressive heartbreak on a real and relatable level, Sad hides a much darker meaning within its lyrics when viewed with a flipped perception. X's lyrics also illustrate the torture of possessive love from the tormentor's standpoint. Lines such as, "Who am I? Someone that's afraid to let go," matched with the viscerally emotive lyric, "I love when you're around, but I fucking hate when you leave," are crafted with depths of love, hate, destined to spawn some form of abuse within a relationship. A hidden illusion supported by the literal, threatening perception of the line, "Suicide if you ever try to let go." This hidden theme of possessive and abusive relationships is given weight by XXXTentacion own criminal allegations of domestic abuse towards his then-girlfriend, Geneva Ayala.
She was already bruised on her face, all while she was staying with me.
Though X consistently denied all allegations of battery and false imprisonment of a pregnant victim, these controversial insights add fuel to his lyrical message of attempting to end a broken relationship or abusive cycle. Released as a single in March 2018, Sad's accompanying music video didn't come to light until June 28th, becoming the first of X's videos to premiere posthumously. Given what we now know of XXXTentacion's life and demise, the music video for Sad is chillingly coincidental. Set in a chapel, the video depicts X attending a funeral, approaching the open casket, and apathetically looking upon his own corpse inside it. The corpse of X reanimates as soon as the real X gets close, reaching for the real X's throat as if to strangle him and inciting a fight sequence.
But why the casket? That seems so morbid.
Because I got dead tattooed on my hand. I feel like I'm dead.
But you're not.
I'm alive, but I'm dead.
Why do you say that? You feel like there's a part of you that died, or?
Yeah.
Considered haunting for the morbid foreshadowing of events which ensued after its shooting, the music video is seen by some as a premonition of X warning his audience about his murder through choreographed violence at his own funeral. Rumors suggest that the rap artist was becoming increasingly paranoid of being murdered towards the end of his life.
Worst thing comes to worst, I fucking die a tragic death or some shit, and I'm not able to see out my dreams. I at least want to know that the kids perceived my message and were able to make something of themselves and able to take my message and use it and turn it into something positive. If I'm gonna die or ever be a sacrifice, I want to make sure that my life made at least 5 million kids happy, or they found some sort of answers or resolve in my life.
But like the symbolic nature of funerals, X's video is a metaphor for the death of his former self, personal transformation, and the act of letting go of his negative past. The enduring fight sequence between the living and dead represents the slow process of killing his former self in order to move forward to create a positive change.
I'm trying my best to escape that realm of mind and that realm of thought in order to evolve into not only a teacher, but just someone to motivate the youth and to push the youth in a positive direction.
Given X's tumultuous upbringing, alongside X's own criminal allegations, it's no surprise that the music video for his Heartbreak track revolved around such a brutal metaphor for severing himself from the past to the person he was becoming and the positive energy he wishes to put out in the world. His video's morbidity becomes a reflection of his state of mind, the trauma of his past, and all else he tried to fight against and surmount.
No matter whether you realize it or not, every day you evolve. Every day you create. You create in thought, you evolve in mind, you evolve as far as your age, you evolve physically, mentally. If you are evoluting physically and you are not evoluting mentally, you are not doing the right thing.
Sad was created in collaboration with XXXTentacion's longtime music partner John Cunningham, his co-writer and producer renowned for a notable discography of collabs with other chart-topping artists, including Halsey and Miley Cyrus. First revealed in snippets as the intro sequence for X's YouTube gaming channel, Sad was released across a host of major streaming platforms, including Spotify, where it would break records 4 months later. Despite the controversy behind his personal life, X's music and lyrical messages continue to compel attention and respect for unashamedly illustrating raw human emotion, rather than disguising his true state of being with exuberance and fortune as rap stereotypes might predict. And despite its tragically morbid nature, X's untimely murder is what catapulted his music to the top of the charts, allowing his lyrical themes of loss, heartbreak, despair, and repair to reach and resonate profoundly with a global audience who had experienced the same entrapment in misery that X had endured. X summed up what would become Sad's central theme of depression in a YouTube vlog, where he detailed his philosophy of personal evolution, alongside his feeling of loneliness in a stadium's worth of people.
I know how it feels to be around people and feel alone. Like, I'll be around a million people and I'll still feel alone.